Longlegs is written and directed by Osgood Perkins, and it stars Nicolas Cage and Maika Monroe. And this movie had a lot of hype around it. I was really excited to see it for a long time, but I didn't get a chance to watch it until now because of the distribution of the film and all that. And there was a lot of hype because this was described as one of the most terrifying films in the last couple of years. There were reports of people went to go see this movie and they started like vomiting and convulsing in their seats and leaving the theater of how disturbing and scary it is. And I gotta report that it's not that scary. I honestly became a little disappointed in that. I'm gonna just like straight out the bat say that. But it is still a good movie. I think I enjoyed it in several parts, and there were other things that I thought were just not up to my standards. So first of all, let's start with the positives of Longlegs. I think the movie it has a phenomenal feeling in it. Like it's just like the creepiness and like the just like bleakness of the film. Like it's in every single scene. The best horror films, in my opinion, are those that are not like scary, like oh jump scares and here and there, but those that really get into your skin. And there's a lot of that, especially with the way the main villain of the film, which is played by Nicolas Cage in Longlegs, he has a very creepy way of just like committing his crime. So the movie's basically about this serial killer who goes from town to town and he starts like killing different families, but he does it in a very distinct way that without spoiling much in the movie, well, I'm gonna spoil some things. So if you haven't seen the movie, if you want to watch it, I'll try to be as less spoilery as possible as I can, but something's gonna slip up. But basically, he goes to houses, he makes families kill the other members of the family, and it's just like really creepy the way it is revealed like towards the end. And I like that. I like the aspects of the movie that focus on those kind of things, like as the main character Lee Harker starts discovering because she's investigating this case. She starts investigating different victims. She starts like puzzling all the clues together. And there's a couple of occult themes in the movie, which is something I really enjoyed. I think it was interesting the way it was done, especially with how it all connects with Longlegs' methods. It reminds me a little bit of the movie Zodiac, which is really awesome. Like if you like those kind of like detective films mixed with horror, you're really gonna enjoy Longlegs. It also has like heavy Alan Wake vibes. Like if you played Alan Wake or Alan Wake 2, the video game, you'll notice a lot of that too. Like I said before, the movie's pacing is good. Like the build-up is just really great. Towards the end, I feel like in the end it just kind of like slips up, and I'm gonna explain it a little bit more later with spoilers. But the movie basically has a lot of build up towards the end where it kind of like switches to a whole different plot, especially with a character that I'm gonna mention. But yeah, I feel like the story wise, it starts well, builds up, and then it kind of like falls off a cliff. So before I go into the ending, I'm gonna explain a little bit about the plot. So basically, in the movie, like I said before, Lee Harker, the main FBI agent, is investigating the cases. There's a lot of creepy scenes where, for example, there's one where they discover a doll, and that scene was just amazing. And it provides clues towards what's really going on with the Longlegs serial killer. So they finally capture the main villain, played by Nicolas Cage, in one scene where he reveals certain clues that Lee has to put together too. Like then he actually like slams his head on the table, and then like that's the end of him. And that whole scene is excellently acted. I think honestly, scenes like this make me realize like the Oscars need a whole horror category because just the creepiness that is like presented through the character of Longlegs, played by Nicolas Cage, is just phenomenal. But yeah, that like the entire from that point until the end, like the entire third part, she starts like discovering the clues that basically turn the whole plot of the movie from like a serial killer vibe towards a supernatural kind of feeling in it. It's just really interesting the way it is done. And that's when the next villain is introduced, which is actually Lee Harker's mother. And I didn't expect that. I thought it was really, I kind of like thought something was going to happen with her mother because she was so creepy during the entire movie, but I never expected her to be like the accomplice in the murder. So that was an interesting twist. But at the same time, I feel like it kind of fell off after, Longlegs dies. I think that whole sequence from there to the end just kind of like lost its spark. I didn't think the plot with the creepy dolls and how the way it just like infects and curses the family with the supernatural feelings was that scary. I thought I was like, oh, okay, that's it. That's all there was to that. I feel like that's kind of like the feeling I got. But yeah, I like the movie. I think it had a lot of areas for improvement, and the ending, I feel like it kind of like dragged a lot of it down. But I still think the movie's worth watching just for the beginning and the middle. Like towards the end, it just kind of falls off, but it's still a really decent movie. So as a final score, I think I'm gonna give it a 68 out of 100. I don't think it reaches like the 70 to above level. I liked it, but I feel like it's just kind of overhyped in a way. But it's still, I recognize the amazing things from Osgood Perkins and what he tried to convey in this film. We need more slow burn, like less jump scary movies in the future, and this is why I appreciate the film. And yeah, I recommend it. And if you like these kind of movies, but yeah, those are pretty much all my thoughts on Longlegs. If you like the video, please let me know, and I'll be making more horror videos in the future for horror movies, horror video games, and all that. So see you guys later, and have a great day.